don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
Hello there everyone, Tom here again, and today we have the privilege of taking a look at the Toywolf, Dirtyman. Now this is their gold version. I asked for this from my kids for Christmas and they didn't do it. So yeah, here's the front of the box, side of the box, back of the box. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted, the gold toilet. Top of the box and bottom of the box where it says not to do stuff to it. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and tear into this thing and we'll see what we get. So right off the bat, we get this really nice. Wow, look at that. You know what? There's directions on there. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but yeah, there's directions on the fan. That is just fascinating. That's great. That makes me happy. I'm gonna put that over here to the side, and I might just keep that over there. I don't know, we'll see. So, looking at my figure here, here is everything you get right out of the box. You get this little sword thing, which is kind of neat. You get this thing, which I don't know what it does yet. You get this thing, which is on a ball peg, so I imagine it does something. We get, pardon me, the golden plunger, which is neat. We get the soft serve emoji in gold. You know what I was saying there. We get this thing right here, which I imagine is silver toilet paper. We get this thing right here. Actually, we get two of them, and they have the same design on them, so looks like they plug together. Let's see. Yep. Man, those are thin pegs. I bet those will break if we're not careful. So, caution and carefulness. We get two swords, which are painted gold and black plastic. We get the figure itself. So he's got double two eyes here, kind of like one of the Bayformers Transformers with his eyes. Let's see here, if I can get my ruler out. He's coming in, standing this tall, at about 4 3/4 inches. Shoulder to shoulder, right out of the box, we're looking at 3 inches. Depth-wise, again, out of the box, we're looking at about 2 3/4. Okay, so he's not horribly big. Let's see, can I put him up next to a Legends figure just to give you an idea? Everybody here that watches my channel should know Nemesis. That's right, I'm famous. So just right out of the box, he's a little bit taller than a Legend scale figure. To give you another perspective, here he is with Lancer. Again, this mold, he's a little bit taller than Lancer. And for those of you keeping count of such things, here he is next to, say, a Mech Fans Toys Galvatron, and they're pretty much head on right now. Give you a good sense of scale there. Shoot, why not? If we're going to be particular about it, here he is next to Ultra Magnus. Again, just to give you a sense of scale as far as what we're looking at here. Last but not least, here he is next to Elita 1. Again, just to give you a sense of scale as far as how big or little, depending on your perspective, this guy is. So, pardon me for adjusting the camera. The articulation here, the head can look around a little bit. The arms can go all the way around, and they're on a cut joint here, so that one's a little stiff. He can definitely go ooga 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 ooga. Don't ask me, folks. I don't know what the hell I'm doing half the time myself. We get a double jointed elbow, goes all the way up. The wrists are on, it feels like, that's a ball peg. So yeah, he gets up and down, and his hand is forever in the gripping thing. What size port is that? Nemesis, let me borrow your gun here for a minute. No! No! Ah! So, if I didn't know better, I'd say it's a little bit bigger than, well, no, there you go. So he can hold Nemesis' gun. Give me my gun back! Shut up, Nemesis. No waist swivel that I can tell. The legs are on T-jointed ball joints. He can do the Chinese splits to there, go forward and back about that much so you can get him walking. The knees can bend all the way back so you can get him all the way with a knee. Thigh joint? No, you get a little bit of wiggle right here on that ball joint. So the feet are on a ball joint. They can go up that far, back that far, and then he'll tilt just a little bit. This is the farthest you can get him and him be flat-footed. Alright, so why don't I take just a second and put on the rest of his accoutrements. That's a fun word to say, accoutrement. Why don't we take a minute, put on his accoutrements, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at him. Alright, so I looked at the directions as best I could, and I wasn't able to find a place for these two things. So I'm not sure exactly what to do with them. And I wouldn't swear I've got this correct, but it's as best as I can do. So let's zoom in here, and you can, excuse me, you can see I got that on there. I got the little side pieces on here. His swords are right here. Although I have to point out, they don't really, I'm not sure if they go there or not. I saw somebody do that on a picture. They will stay there as long as you don't mess with them. This thing here is very loose, but it will stay. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't buy this thing to be a robot. I bought it to be a toilet. So I suppose the next thing we should do, let me go through it. He's got pretty red paint for a face. I love the paint on this thing. He's got this right here, the gold. Yeah. He's got details right here, molded details right here. The feet aren't painted, and neither is this. This is flat plastic. This is painted gold. Yeah. He's a nice little thing. I do kind of like him. He's crazy enough that I've never really seen anything like him. So I guess the next thing to do would be to transform him. So we'll go ahead and do that next. So to transform this guy, I've already taken off the flags, right? This comes off. Oh, and I found that the piece apparently goes right here. It's the only place I could find where it goes, so. Pardon me. First thing you do is you open this up. Go ahead and open these up. You can rotate your head around. We'll get to that in a minute. There's a peg right here that goes into this. You just separate it. Let me tell you, the first time you do that, it feels like you're going to break it. Mine has loosened up quite well. That's all I can say. Take your feet, and there is a peg hole right here that's going to go into this peg right here. Just bend at the ankle and just put it into place. Same thing on this side. Bend at the ankle, or the knee rather. Bend at the ankle, and just connect that peg with that peg hole. He says. Okay. Oh, bring this down. You'll want this down later. Take your elbows, pull them up like this, and we just pull them back like this. Then we take our head here and we push it all the way back as far as it'll go. We take our toilet bowl here, then we slide it until it locks into place there, and then we shut the lid. Oh, well, shut the lid. Pardon me. There is a peg and a pin right there. Peg hole, peg comes in, solidifies it on both sides, just like that. And we maneuver these into place. You can see there are grooves and joints and grooves. Lastly, this thing comes up, comes over, it connects. There's grooves in here, there's a pin right here, and then pin and port. So the trickiest part of this whole thing is lining up the top pins here, because they just aren't exactly always happy to go. And then it's just simply a matter of putting those in, ow, that hurt, and pushing them down, and it locks it into place quite well. Now, excuse me, in this mode, it's coming in at approximately 3 3/4 inches. Depth-wise, we're going to call it 3 1/4. Width-wise, I'd say that's the widest spot. Let's call it 2 inches. Now, one thing you can do is you can take your little flags here, and you can actually put them in the hands, and that will give you at least a little bit of storage. I haven't found a way yet. There may be 14 ways, and I just haven't figured them out, to use these to cover up the back here. There's got to be a way, but every time I try something, it just doesn't work right. So I just kind of quit trying. Even when you put them in those two holes there, they just don't line up the way that you want them to. So for me, this is going to work just fine, like that. I haven't really found a place for this either for storage. I mean, I guess you could shove it up in there. That seems to work. The toilet bowl opens for your needs and accessories. The golden poo can go in there. I'm sorry, that's the soft serve. Can go in there. You've got your toilet paper here. Pegs into the top, so there's all that. Yay, that can go there. Haven't found a place for this in this mode yet, although it does. Okay then, it does do this, so I suppose that's a good thing. And I haven't found any place to put the swords yet. There may well be a place, but if there is, it's not readily available to me that I can find. So, yeah, that's this guy's transformation. Final thoughts wise,
this is so wrong, I just don't know what to say.
Yo, how about a little privacy here? I'm trying to take a deuce.
Ew.
Nemesis, what do you think you're doing? Well, as you can see, I'm trying to take a deuce. I'd appreciate it if you all would let me read my paper in peace. Just 1 minute, folks. We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
No!
Ooh, Nemesis, damn it! Alright, let's try this again. Final thoughts wise, the quality of this thing is absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love it. The paint hasn't really chipped anywhere that I have been able to see, and this is after multiple transformations. The plastic quality feels really good. It has an interesting profile, shall we say that? The playability, I have to tell you, aside from the things that I can't seem to find a place for, you know, in the alt mode, this thing's great. I have flipped this thing back and forth, I can't tell you how many times, and I've never questioned whether or not it's going to break. I like it. It is fun. It is an enjoyable, relatively simple simple transformation without a whole lot of issues. Lastly, the cost. Now, that's kind of the kicker. The cost for this, I think if I remember correctly, I bought it at Big Bad Toy Store. It was either $80 or $89. It is enjoyable, but I'm not sure it's that enjoyable. Well, let me put it like this. I would probably buy this again for that price, and I probably will end up buying the white one if I can still find it. Based on this alone, I'm going to buy their the urinal one that they do, because this works for me. Ever since that Austin Powers movie where he said he wanted a toilet made out of solid gold, that's kind of been one of my standards. So I had to get the gold one. I had to. I love the fact that the directions are on this fan, and that, you know, you have to roll the fan out to get to the directions. Love that. My wife just loved it as well. So yeah, this is a strong recommend for me. If you're halfway interested, do it. Go ahead, buy it. You'll like it. I enjoy it. It appeared that Nemesis enjoyed it, so yeah. Yep, I enjoyed it. Read the whole paper. Ah! Thanks, folks. I'll see you at the next review.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Another satisfied customer of Vitamin John. Operators are standing by. Call now!